It's Randytbird out here in Arizona. Saturday morning, June 3rd. I'm headed out of town for the weekend. So I'm just getting started now, and got about 180 miles to go to Williams, Arizona today. Maybe a little bit farther than that, but I'm finally getting out of town. Gonna do an overnighter and then head back in the morning before it gets too hot. But yeah, summer is upon us. It's gonna be 104 tomorrow, so if I get home by 9:30 or 10 o'clock, it won't be too bad out. So anyway, lots to record today, so I'm just getting started. We'll see you in a while. Hey, it's Randy, continuing my Saturday morning trip out of town. Right now I'm up out of the desert, and we're just coming past Mount Ord up here north of Sunflower, Arizona. You can see up there with the towers, fire control towers, microwave towers, whatever they are up there on the mountain. It's beautiful up there today. Not too many clouds. Just running the curves up here in the hills. We're up in about 3,500 feet elevation right now, and the air has cooled off quite a bit. Beautiful morning. We go up and down some mountains here. We'll drop back down into the higher desert. And we'll just get to see some variety of terrain today here. Eventually we'll be up in the pines, and then we'll spend most of the rest of the day up in the high country, up around 5,000 to 7,500 feet elevation. Should be really nice up there today. There's a slight chance of thunder showers, but there always is this time of year up in the mountains. So if I get wet, I get wet, I suppose. If it gets bad, I'll get out of it somewhere and wait it out, because they don't last long. Anyway, the terrain is changing now, and you'll see the pinyon junipers, which is a kind of a pine tree if you're not familiar with that in this part of the world here. They're like, basically I describe them as pine bushes, and some of them can get pretty big, but for the most part they're an evergreen, a conifer of sorts. And we continue to go uphill now. We'll be up at the top of the mountain, and then we'll come down to this pretty cool valley that goes down the side of Mount Ord there. They had the fire burn through here, and it was pretty rough. It burned the whole side of this mountain, so it's not as pretty as it used to be, but it seems to be recovering somewhat. It just, most of the big trees are gone, so it's going to be denuded, so to speak. If you can see the skeletal trees that are out there that burned in the big fire we had a couple, 3 years ago. If you look back through my videos, I did some coverage of that here a couple years ago, actually. So anyway, on the Heritage today, we got the windshield and the saddlebags and everything I need to be comfortable on the highway here. It's been a long time since I've been able to get out and get anywhere really of any distance, and so this is going to be a good one, and hopefully my tired old body holds up. Band played a show last night at the Rhythm Room in Phoenix, and we were the headliner act, so I didn't get home till after 1, and so I slept in a little bit. I normally would be out earlier in the morning when I go out on the highway, but I needed my sleep, so I got my 7.5, 8 hours, so you know, to recharge the batteries a little bit. You know, there's a brake check area for the trucks up here. Oh, we got somebody broke down. Check your brakes, because there's a pretty substantial grade coming up here, and the traffic will slow down a little bit as we go down this big hill. But there's a beautiful view up here. So when I publish this video, it's probably going to be in a couple segments, and it's going to be relatively long. If you look up there, you see the pines up there, the ones that didn't burn. And we're coming into what is called Tonto Basin. now, and then you come up out of the mountains and down into the high desert again, and pretty steep hill coming down here. And I'll just let the hot rodders just do their thing, and I'm just gonna stay at 65 or so and enjoy the sights. It's like they terraced the hillside there to try and prevent some of the fire or the flood runoff when it rains up, because it rains really hard through here in the summer. And just to keep it from flooding out the highway, they've had to do something to control the erosion after the fire. Like I said, it's a pretty good grade going down here. Just some of the variety of Arizona here. Next town I come to will be called Rye. I do not know what that is in the highway. Wow. Road gators. Tires blew off. Hey, I'd hate to hit that. I hit one of those in my car one time, and it took the muffler right off my car. So sure as the hell don't want to hit them on the bike. So anyway, we got past it. Crisis averted, in the phrase of the day, if you watch TV. So anyway, there's an area down here. This is Sycamore Creek, runs through here. It's probably dry right now because we haven't had much rain in the last couple weeks. So generally the only time you get any water in the creek bed down here is when it rains. So this is Mount Ord and the area up here. Coming down this long hill. You know, it's a steep hill when they got a runaway truck ram. You know, I've only seen trucks on those a couple times. I'm guessing you truckers know, but you could probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess if you actually use one of those, you get a big fine for not taking care of your equipment or something like that. I could be wrong, but you know, if you're a trucker, you could probably tell me if that's true or not. And there's the ramp, just a bunch of deep sand that slows the vehicle down once you get in there. And I guess it's a big tow bill to get you back out. My guess is if you weren't having equipment problems, you wouldn't be using it to begin with, so I guess you kind of expect that tow bill. So much for that. Again, as you see, one side of the road to my left, there's no fire damage, but on the right was pretty much all of those skeletal trees burned. So the ground cover has come back, but it's never going to be the same, not in my lifetime. This used to be one of my favorite parts of this ride. Back in the 80s, my folks lived in Payson, Arizona. I used to go up here almost every weekend, and I used to know every inch of this highway intimately. But I don't go out as much as I used to, as much as I want to. Anyway, traffic usually going up the hills gets a little slow at times, but it's a two-lane road on that side of the divided highway, so you can pass at least. They're coming to the bottom of the hill now, so you can see the creek bed, and there is a trickle of water going through there. That's kind of cool. Not sure where that's coming from. Maybe there's a little bit of snow melt on the higher parts of the mountains. It's making its way down to the desert. I don't see much snow on the mountains. We're not that high right here, so you know, it's been up in the hundreds again and down in Phoenix, so up here it's probably in the 80s or 90s during the day. Anyway, I'm gonna do some more later, but I'm trying to get some clips together to put together for a epic weekend ride video, so I'll probably be putting that out late tomorrow after I get home from the mountains. I'll see you in a little while. Well, here we are. We're in Payson, Arizona. It's a little mountain town that's well, it's not little anymore. My folks used to live here. It's about 5,500 feet elevation, mile high. So it's up in the pines, as you can see around there, and there's tons and tons of traffic in this town. I saw a big group of bikes going there, headed out east. 260 takes you out to up over the Mogollon Rim and out to the White Mountains eventually, and on in New Mexico if you keep going. But not going that way today. I'm going to continue going north. As you can see, the mountains up ahead, that's called the Mogollon Rim, and goes up to over 7,000 feet up there, and we will be hitting that today when I get there. But this is big, exciting Payson, Arizona. Alright, I'm on the highway now between Payson and Pine, Arizona. Up in the mountains here, we continue to climb in elevation. It's a little 2-lane road up here. Gotta be careful. There's all the RVs and stuff on the road. Just normal caution. We were up here a couple weekends ago, and with the family went up to the Tano Natural Bridge. I'm not going there today, but it's up there, top of this hill, and then down the road a little bit. But this is where the turnoff was. As you can see, we're still in the Pinon Pines, and there are some junipers up here too, and some bigger pine trees, and some oak trees up here too. And they're in a warning for elk. I'm not sure it's the right season for it yet, but they're out here and they're big. Still a beautiful morning. The air is a lot cooler up here in the elevation than in the valley, but it's still got a little warmth to the sun. It feels pretty good. I probably have a jacket on before the afternoon is over. But that's northern Arizona. You got a 6,000 foot elevation difference, and it cools off. It's beautiful up here on the rim. Anyway, I was riding around with my screen open, or my shield open, so close that. I hope there wasn't too much wind noise in that clip. Anyway, just the absolute beauty of Arizona and the variety that's it's almost hard to describe when you know, although I give it a shot, you know. But yeah, the variety of the terrain in Arizona, from low deserts to high mountains, just pretty awesome out here, really. I mean, we're getting up really higher in elevation now, so it's really cooling off now. Of course, we got a little bit of clouds, but they're not expecting any big rainstorms today, so let's fingers crossed that'll continue that for the rest of the afternoon, or at least when I'm out on the road, you know, because I might melt if I get wet. You know how that goes. Anyway, Randytbird continuing on. All right, Randytbird back here. We're going through Pine, Arizona now. About 6,000 feet elevation. Beautiful little mountain town. A lot of bikes out today. Just a beautiful weekend for it. Something smells good, something cooking, making me hungry. We go from here and we go to a place called Strawberry right after Pine. It's up in the mountains. From there you go up into over 7,000 feet. So probably going to stop, top off the gas up here, change into a long sleeve shirt, and as it is going to get cool up there, it might even sprinkle a little bit, but it kind of smells like a little bit of rain in the air. just a little damp. My gas is nearly $1 a gallon cheaper up here in the mountains, if you can believe that, than it is down in the valley. Okay, up out of Pine now and headed towards Strawberry. Getting a little breezy, it looks like. There's Old Glory and the Arizona flag. This area up here is a real favorite for bikes on the weekends. Just get out of that desert heat and enjoy. And I've been up here many times. Be just a little bit longer, a couple more turns, and we'll be in Strawberry, Arizona. Just a wide spot in the road, a couple of bars and restaurants, and mostly a vacation cabin area for people, as you can see in some of the places on the side of the road. Played a show up here one time and come back in the dark. I don't see well at night. That was an interesting experience. I was seeing elephants and tigers and alligators, everything you could think of in the road. It wasn't really there, but I could see them. You know, eyes glowing in the weeds and the trees out there. I'm sure it was all in my imagination because of my night blindness, but that was interesting. As we continue to go up in elevation. Imagine by tomorrow there'll be a ton of traffic up here. Sundays are always that way up here. And I will not be going home this way. I'll be going a different route on the way home. So coming into Strawberry. Slowing down, speed trap, you know. There's the chalet. Been there many times. And we're up out of Strawberry already, so we're heading up the mountain now, and on we go. Hey, it's Randy and back. I ran through a rainstorm, a little bit of hail. I had to take my camera off so I didn't get it destroyed. And so now I'm back. No worse for the wear. Went down through Camp Verde, Arizona, and now I'm coming up out of the Verde Valley, up the hill, past the Sedona turnoff, and now we'll be heading up towards Flagstaff in another 40 miles. So up on I-17 right now, and that's not looking real good up ahead. I'm not sure I'm gonna miss that or get drowned or whatever, you know. Not really looking forward to getting wet, getting soaked up there, but we'll see. I may have to wait it out. Anyway, going up the hill. I just climbed up out of the Verde Valley, which was about 3,000 feet elevation. Now we're past 4,500 feet, and probably pretty soon we'll be up to 6,000 and then 7,000, and then topping out at about 72 or 7,300 elevation. We should be getting cool again. It's kind of warm now that I got a long sleeve shirt on, now that it's a little warm, coming back down out of the mountains, the other side of Strawberry. Anyway, you can see the pine trees are getting a little thicker here as we go, and pretty soon there'll be the tall ponderosa pines that northern Arizona is famous for. And I'll probably reach my destination somewhere around 1:30 today. I'm thinking 1:30, 1:45. Then I can kick back and party and hang with friends, and that should be good. Got a place arranged tonight for me to stay, and then we'll ride back in the morning. So here we go. Yep, getting higher and higher, just headed up that hill. Heritage is running really good. Plenty of power. Pulling this hill in 6th gear without even breathing hard. There's truck traffic, and they're slow up here in the mountains, so you gotta watch out for them. Again, I'm on I-17 north of the Verde Valley in Arizona. Probably a little less than 40 miles south of Flagstaff right now. Passing another slow truck. 5,000 feet elevation. Awesome. And no sooner than we pass that sign, you can feel the air start to cool off. That's a pretty big looking thunder boomer up that way, and you can never tell whether you're going into them or around them or whatever. That one looks like a pretty good cell right there. We'll see. Something at Stoneman Lake Road. There's no lake there anymore. They took out the dam, and it had been dry for years anyway, but it's no longer a lake. It's just a meadow. I don't get up here nearly as much as I used to. The traffic getting out of Phoenix on 17 is usually awful on summer weekends, and holiday weekends, forget about it. You're looking at traffic jams, hour-long delays, and even longer if there's an accident or something on the hill. It's pretty bad. Starting to get a little windy, getting the outflow from that thunderstorm out there. I know you get up around a place called Munns Park up here, and I swear that's the stormiest place in the universe. Seems like I always get the storms. Anyway, we're gonna wait and see. Be back in a little while with more. That's Randy, I'm back. Still headed north on I-17 on Saturday. It's turned to afternoon now. And let me see. Ahead you can see the Mount Humphreys, also known as San Francisco Peak, because the legend in the old days that they used to tell the tourists is you could see San Francisco from the top. Well, I've been up there on the ski resort that's up there, and I could not see San Francisco, so that's just one of those country witticisms, I'm sure. Anyway, still rolling through, you know, hoping it doesn't get super rainy. It's got a few sprinkles going on right now. We're getting close to Flagstaff. It's looking better out to the east, or the west is where I'm headed, but I got to get through this first, so, you know, hopefully, I mean, I've got a rain jacket, but I did not bring my rain suit. I'm not sure why I didn't do that now, but anyway, usually bringing a rain suit is kind of like insurance against it actually raining. I don't think I've had that rain suit on quite a while. Anyway, it's one of those one-piece coverall type things. It makes me look like the old Bud Man. It's red and black, or red and white, whatever it is. Anyway, as you can see, we're up in the Ponderosa Pines right now, and the forests are looking good. They had a lot of rain this year and a lot of snow, and they're looking way better than they did the last couple of years. I mean, they were looking rough. We had infestation of bark beetles, which were killing a lot of trees, and it's looking really good. So let's hope for the best out here. You know, you can see some of the trees are dead looking, and that's the bark beetles. That's a lot of that's caused by drought, and you know, these forests, if you lose them, it takes a long time to regrow them. So anyway, you ever notice when you're out on the highway and you're kind of like weaving back and forth on the road, and you're going one direction for a while, then you move to another direction, and you never know when you're going to run right into a rainstorm, or run around it, or run by it. So there, it's looking like, oh, now we're getting some rain. I can see ahead, the road doesn't look too bad, but yeah, it could be happening here soon. And we should get right under the edge of this cloud, maybe get past it. Slow down. I can smell it. It's really smells like rain now, so, and it's coming. It's coming. So hopefully I can get out of this before I get just absolutely drenched. Chena Boulevard, Mountain Air. Now there ain't nothing there. So, well, my luck has not held out, it looks like. It's not too bad yet, it's sprinkling. But as you can see through the windshield, we're getting wet. So, anyway, I'm probably gonna have to put the camera up here shortly, so I'm gonna sign off for now. Hey, it's Randytbird coming to you from Williams, Arizona. The ride for the day is done. I'm in a motel in Williams, and you get to see me in the mirror here. Anyway, this old man. Anyway, this day's done. I'm just going to relax now and drink a soda and just enjoy the evening, and get up in the morning and head back. It's Randy. I'll talk to you later.